Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I'm answering somebody's question today who asked me this through Quora, and her question was, she's just now recognized the fact that she was with a narcissist, and the narcissist completely destroyed her life, and she's having a really hard time deciding what to do next. So when you come to that recognition that you're either married to a narcissist or you've been with a narcissist for a really long time, that can be quite a shocking thing, and it can be hard to figure out what to do with that information. Like, how can you rebuild your life? How can you move forward? And that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So the first thing that I always encourage people to do is to start keeping a journal. You need to start keeping track of the things that you have experienced. This is a way for you to really release the experiences that you've had with the narcissist. So start writing down things. You don't need to spend a lot of time on this every day, and in fact, I would encourage you to not spend, hours on this. But if you could journal for between 7 and 15 minutes a day, just remembering the things that you have gone through, the things that you have lived through. This is going to serve two purposes. Like I said, the first one being true with yourself, being honest about the things that you've experienced and really allowing yourself to release those things so that you can start to heal. And number two, it can be difficult when you have been with a narcissist for a while or even not a long time. The narcissist can have a very strong hold over the way that you think. And so by keeping track of the experiences that you've had, you can start to unhook yourself from the trauma bond that has been formed. You can remind yourself that this truly is a toxic relationship, because it can be easy to start thinking, maybe this is all in my head, maybe it wasn't as bad as I think it is, maybe this person can change, maybe if I do certain things that the person can change, and that's always not true. We can't control other people. Even if we can see what is best for them, we can't make them choose to behave differently or make different choices. So that's number one, is to start journaling. And again, this will serve two purposes, and be sure to not sit and stew on the things that you've experienced, which is why I say set a timer, 7 to 15 minutes a day, no more than that, only because you can get into toxic rumination and you can start really developing unhealthy feelings that aren't going to help you move forward, but are going to keep you stuck back in the past. Okay, so that's number one, start journaling. Number two is to start building your life. So I call this dating yourself. Agree that every day you're going to do one thing for you. And this doesn't have to be like a very large thing. This can just be, I'm going to take a shower every day, or I'm going to floss my teeth every single night before I go to sleep. I'm going to spend 20 minutes before bed meditating or praying or just relaxing, doing breath work, something like that. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but you need to start carving out intentional time for you to just be, for you to start building healthy habits again. And again, this comes because of the trauma bond. You can really lose yourself, your complete identity, and your purpose when you're with a narcissist, because they are all consuming. And so giving yourself the opportunity to really figure out what you want to do, who you are, what you're here for, what kind of people you would like to have filling up your life, all of that kind of stuff. Give yourself the opportunity so that you can start building your new life. Number three is to get help and get educated. So if this means for you that you need to go see a therapist, go see a therapist. If you need to hire a life coach, if you need to join a support group or some sort of small group at your church or your place of worship, you need to find some way to start getting connected. Because what can happen is that you'll start, again, if you're doing the journaling, you're doing the self-care routine that I mentioned in steps 1 and 2, you can still be very isolated. Lots of times a narcissist will ensure that you are isolated. So rebuilding connections with other people, and specifically healthy people, people that can help you understand and make sense of what you've been through, this is really what you need right now. And so again, if that's for you, you need a therapist because perhaps you have some leftover trauma behaviors from the way that you had to develop coping skills and mechanisms to deal with a narcissist. Great. If you need to join, your church small group, whatever it is that you need to do, start making healthy connections with healthy people and get plugged into the community so that you stop being isolated. You need other people. We are all made to connect to other people, and so it's really important that you start branching out and doing this right away. And it can feel scary because it can feel like nobody understands what you've gone through, and I totally get that firsthand. I understand that feeling, but I also know that part of being honest with yourself and telling your story to other people, and even people who don't accept or who don't embrace your story, even people who don't honor what you've gone through, there's something that is happening growth-wise within you. And so that is still a really important part of the recovery process of healing, of taking back your identity. Learning to be okay when people don't accept you, when people don't like your story or think that you're lying or making something up or whatever it is. When you experience that type of reaction and it can feel like rejection, that is part, unfortunately, of normal life. And so learning how to deal with that kind of interaction from other people is going to be a life skill that you need moving forward. And I also included get educated in this section, because if you start to learn more about narcissism, about narcissistic behavior, what it looks like, what trauma bonds are, and how they form, how they're broken, all of the kind of things that go along with narcissistic abuse, you're going to start making more sense of why it is that you think in a certain way, why you behave in a certain way, why you're attracted to a certain type of person, what made the narcissist want to be attracted to you, why were you attracted to them, all of that kind of stuff. This is part of the healing process. So part of getting connected is also getting connected not just to people, but also to information, getting educated about what you have gone through. For example, on my channel, I have a whole playlist called the Life After Narcissism course, and it's free. You can go watch it, and it takes you through these different steps of healing, of how to get reconnected with your identity and things like that. So go check that out. That's free. There's plenty of information out there these days that is free, and all you need to do is, again, dedicate yourself to becoming informed and really carving out that time that you need in your schedule to get educated, to get connected to the information that will help you heal. I could go on and on and on in this video, but I want to make sure that I'm giving you things that are practical and easy steps, easy first steps to start taking. And so the final thing that I want to mention in this video is to learn your new baseline. And I've talked about this in some of my other videos. I have this video right here which talks about how to get unstuck, and I cover this in more details, but start getting your own baseline for where you are right now, because when you are honest about where you are, how you feel, the thoughts that you have, the feelings and emotions that you have throughout the day, when you're honest with yourself about the way that you are feeling, you can start recognizing where you want to be. So if you, for example, on a scale of 1 to 10 are consistently at a 2 because you've been asking yourself the questions that I explain in this video, you're asking yourself those questions 4 times a day, and you've gotten yourself a baseline because you've been doing this now for about 2 weeks, you can start to see what kinds of thoughts and memories are coming back up that are making your baseline so low. So if you're a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10, for example, and you want to just make an incremental change, let's say instead of a 2, you want to be at a 4. That's a great goal. You can start to do things. You can start to recognize the thoughts that you're having and change the way that you're thinking or talking to yourself about your memories. So for example, for my own self, I never tell myself that this is just too painful or that I'll never get through this situation. And even when it was very hard, it would feel like that. I would feel like there is no light at the end of this tunnel for me. But I chose instead to have a bunch of truths that I wrote down, and I would read them over myself, and I would say that I know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, that all things are going to work out for my good. And I would just tell myself these truths, and I just refused to speak out loud those types of curses over myself. So that's something that you can start to do, is to really be aware and be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself about your baseline. And when you can do that, then you can start to make changes to growing, to increasing your baseline so that you aren't stuck at a 2. But if you don't recognize the fact that you're at a 2, you're not going to be able to take the steps that you need to do to progress to a 4. So you guys, I know that this is a short video, but I hope it's helpful. I hope this gives you like a starting point of what to do when you find out that you have been with a narcissist or that you are with a narcissist and you feel like your whole life has been ruined. I know it is, again, as I said before, I would feel that way. I would feel like I could not rebuild my life after experiencing narcissistic abuse, but that was just a lie. There is so much more on the other side. You are going to get through it. You're going to rebuild your life. You're going to have an incredible and fulfilling and full, accomplished life. You need to tell yourself that. You need to start believing that. And doing these steps that I listed in this video are going to help you gain the footing that you need to really embrace and start believing the fact that there is hope for you and that there is life after narcissism. So you guys, once again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.